Dear faithful, Padre Pio is famous for the numerous prophecies he shared during his lifetime. Some of these prophecies have been carefully documented, while others have been passed down orally through tradition. Among all his predictions, one in particular stands out for its exceptionality: the disturbing prophecy of the 3 days of darkness. This particular prophecy, revealed by Saint Padre Pio during his lifetime, has provoked deep reflection on its implications. In this article, we will explore the prophecy of the 3 days of darkness, an event that has captured the attention of people around the world. Before taking a closer look at this prophecy, let's try to better understand the figure of Padre Pio in order to get a complete picture of the context. Padre Pio, whose birth name was Francisco Forgione, was an Italian priest who lived between 1887 and 1968. He belonged to the Capuchin order of friars, was sanctified by the Catholic Church, and is now considered a saint. Born on May 25, 1887, to Giuseppe and Gracie in the modest town of Pietrelcina, Italy, Padre Pio came from a family of farmers. From a young age, he showed a deep religious vocation and joined the Capuchin order at the age of 15, receiving his priestly ordination in 1910. He was later assigned to the town of San Giovanni Rotondo, where his life took an extraordinary turn when he began to manifest the stigmata, a phenomenon that defied all explanation. These stigmata, representing the 5 wounds of Christ inflicted during the crucifixion and appearing on his hands, feet and side, were accompanied by intense suffering. It is important to note that, although mysterious, this phenomenon has also been found in other saints and mystics throughout history, and is often interpreted as a sign of profound holiness and spirituality. Padre Pio's stigmata bled periodically, but remained miraculously free of infection, exuding a scent of roses during the healing process. However, they would reappear after a few days or weeks. It is important to note that these wounds were not visible to everyone, but they were authenticated by the Church. The stigmata aroused great devotion among the faithful, attracting pilgrims from all over the world to San Giovanni Rotondo. What made Padre Pio even more unique was his prophecy about the 3 days of darkness, a warning that raises important questions about its meaning. These events are expected to take place in September. How should we prepare for these potentially difficult times? Our search for answers is of paramount importance, and prudence advises us to remain alert, as the revelations may contain unexpected ideas. In a personal letter to the Commission of Heralds, a Vatican-appointed body, Padre Pio documented his unshakable belief in the authenticity of the revelations he had received from our Lord. In this letter, he shared his spiritual journey and the divine graces granted to him, including the extraordinary stigmata. Her words resonate like this: "My beloved son, I have waited anxiously for this moment to reveal the deep affection of my heart. I ask you to participate in prayer and reparation in my name and to encourage others to do the same. The time is coming to visit my afflicted people, who have sadly neglected the window of my grace. Keep up your perseverance in prayer to thwart the dominion of your adversary. I implore my people to be prepared at all times, because my judgment will come upon them suddenly and unexpectedly. No one will escape my sight, for all will fall under my observation. I will extend my protective embrace. Be alert, watch the sky, the sun, the moon and the stars when they show signs of agitation and tumultuous restlessness. This agitation marks the approach of the days. Be vigilant, nourished by prayer, until the messenger of annihilation has crossed their threshold. Pray that these days will be shortened through prayer and dedicate yourselves to reparation, fervent devotion, and acts of self-discipline. There are deep interests at stake. Pray because humanity is moving inexorably towards the abyss of damnation, dancing joyfully in celebration as if it were going to a carnival or natural festival. I ask you to help in the salvation of souls. The cup of sin is now overflowing, and the day of retribution, with its terrorist events, is closer than you can imagine. The world's false sense of security hides the imminent divine judgment that will strike like lightning. Those who have no faith, steeped in wickedness, will be eliminated without mercy, like the inhabitants of Sodom and Gomorrah. I tell you that the wickedness of today surpasses even that of Sodom and Gomorrah. Close your windows, refrain from looking outside. Light a blessed candle that will shine brightly enough for many days. Pray the rosary, immerse yourself in spiritual literature. Make connections through acts of spiritual communion, acts of love that are deeply welcome to us. Pray with your arms outstretched in humble prostration on the floor, thus contributing to the salvation of many souls. Don't leave the house, but make sure you have enough supplies. The forces of nature will be stirred up, and a deluge of fire will cause shivers of terror. Gather your courage, because I am the creator and guardian of creatures and human beings. I will warn you in advance with specific signs that will ask you to offer additional supplies. The property of the chosen ones will be protected, including the well-being of the animals, as their survival will be crucial. Do not allow anyone to venture into the yard, not even to look after the animals. Cover your windows tightly. My chosen ones will be protected from my wrath. With trust in me, I will wrap them under my protection. Torrents of fiery storms will fall from the skies and spread across the world. Storms, bad weather, thunder and earthquakes will cover the earth for 2 days in a row, followed by an uninterrupted rain of fire. Its beginning will be marked by a cold night. All these events demonstrate God's supremacy over creation. Those who place their hope in me maintain a firm faith in my teachings. They should not be afraid, for I will not abandon them, nor will I abandon those who spread my message. The righteous adorned with sanctifying grace and protected by my mother's intercession will remain unharmed. To prepare them for this imminent visit, I will give them recognizable signs and indications. The night will be cold, accompanied by a howling wind, and in time, lightning will resound. Close doors and windows, avoiding contact with strangers. Kneel before a crucifix, begging my mother for protection. During the tremors, take refuge in her gaze, for God's holy wrath is imminent. I ask you not to be witnesses to his wrath, which requires contemplation with reverence. Those who ignore this advice will meet an instant death. The wind will carry toxic gases and spread them around the world. Those who become martyrs through the innocent ramifications will find solace in my kingdom. Although Satan may triumph momentarily in the 3 tumultuous nights of earthquakes and flames, his dominion will cease the next day. The light of the sun will shine again on the world. Angels will descend from the heavenly realms, bringing a spirit of tranquility that will envelop the earth. An overwhelming sense of gratitude will embrace the survivors of this horrific experience. The impending doom goes back to the beginning of creation and humanity's indifference to these impending events. People seem indifferent when it comes to preparing for these extraordinary manifestations. Soon, the weight of divine justice will lean heavily on the earth. The fury of my Father will be poured out on the whole world. I repeat once again a warning through your mediator, as I have done in the past. On the appointed day, when darkness envelopes the earth, no one will leave their home or look out of their windows. The darkness will last for 3 days, and on the 3rd night, the stars will regain their splendor. Afterwards, the sun will herald a new day, similar to spring. During these dark hours, my chosen ones will remain alert. Their devotion will be unceasing, similar to the garden where my disciples wavered. Their prayers will have no rest, and their faith will not be disappointed. I will gather my chosen ones, although the infernal abyss may deceive us momentarily. I will regain dominion over the earth. I have repeatedly warned humanity and offered countless opportunities to return to the right path. The wave of the sea has reached its peak, and the hour of punishment can no longer be postponed. Share with everyone that the time is near for the fulfillment of these prophecies. These warnings were communicated directly to Padre Pio by Jesus Christ. It is essential to recognize that Padre Pio was not the only recipient of this revelation. The beginnings of this prophecy are attributed to the Blessed Virgin Mary, who has appeared to various saints and mystics throughout history, including Catherine, Mary, Blessed Anna Maria Taigi, Saint John Bosco, and Saint Faustina. Stay in peace. The cup of sin is now overflowing, and the day of retribution, with its terrorist events, is closer than you can imagine. The world's false sense of security hides the imminent divine judgment that will strike like lightning. Those who have no faith, steeped in wickedness, will be eliminated without mercy, like the inhabitants of Sodom and Gomorrah. I tell you that the wickedness of today surpasses even that of Sodom and Gomorrah. Close your windows, refrain from looking outside. Light a blessed candle that will shine brightly enough for many days. Pray the rosary, immerse yourself in spiritual literature. Make connections through acts of spiritual communion, acts of love that are deeply welcome to us. Pray with your arms outstretched in humble prostration on the floor, thus contributing to the salvation of many souls. Don't leave the house, but make sure you have enough supplies. The forces of nature will be stirred up, and a deluge of fire will cause shivers of terror. Gather your courage, because I am the creator and guardian of creatures and human beings. I will warn you in advance with specific signs that will ask you to offer additional supplies. The property of the chosen ones will be protected, including the well-being of the animals, as their survival will be crucial. Do not allow anyone to venture into the yard, not even to look after the animals. Cover your windows tightly. My chosen ones will be protected from my wrath. With trust in me, I will wrap them under my protection. Torrents of fiery storms will fall from the skies and spread across the world.